For those of you who saw our Black Panther kill video, you'll remember we had one or two issues with T'Challa's portrayal in Civil War, particularly the fight scenes. Though some of you agreed, others apparently didn't. So now the first teaser for BP's solo movie has landed, it's about time we revisited the subject, right? So in this video we'll share our thoughts on Black Panther's representation in Civil War, using the comics for reference as we go.
Jumping straight in, BP is the only hero playing for reals throughout the movie. Tony gets murderous towards the end, and Bucky goes a bit nuts, but everyone else is pretty much sound with each other for the most part. Take the airport sequence. Aside from the hefty property damage and Rhodey's unfortunate spinal injury, all it really amounts to is an extended sparring session. While the others toy with each other, BP's the only one baying for blood. But despite this, T'Challa is continually denied his chance to land a death blow on Bucky. No matter how hard the guy tries, obstacles keep getting in his way, almost as if the movie's an elaborate Roadrunner skit.
Now, you may argue that all this is befitting, since he's going after the wrong guy. Bucky didn't kill Black Panther Sr. after all. It was a guy in a Bucky mask, cause they're super easy to get hold of apparently. Ooh, 99 cents and only some explosive damage. The rooftop fight is probably BP's best. To be fair, he absolutely dominates Bucky, forcing him to make a swift escape. So perhaps on some level BP's conflicted in later fights, subconsciously holding himself back because this supposed cold-blooded assassin isn't going for the kill himself. He keeps running and avoiding. That's probably a stretch though. Let's not forget how BP exacted his revenge on Namor long after the Submariner flooded Wakanda. Clearly BP ain't someone to forget his grudges.
To quickly recap BP's powers, T'Challa is imbued with enhanced strength, healing, durability, speed and agility. He's also a master combatant, tactician, hunter, inventor, and a certified genius. There's some debate as to which character's stronger, BP or Bucky. We'd say it's the former, hands down. He's certainly faster. So in their second bout, we find it slightly odd that Bucky's able to bitch slap BP. Seriously? Then more weird stuff happens. Demonstrating his superior speed, BP is able to get in front and above the Winter Soldier, pouncing down on him before another exchange ensues. Man, that was fast. Did he teleport up there or something? After rolling down the stairs, BP gets in a good kick on Buck, who falls down to the floor below. But instead of jumping straight down after him, BP jumps down the other side? Not the best plan for a strategic genius. And by the time he gets down there, surprise surprise, Bucky has disappeared into thin air. But let's face it, this ain't the first time that's happened. Everyone's bloody teleporting.
There's no denying that Civil War is a great movie, and that, in fairness, T'Challa gets several badass moments to shine. But there are some silly things in the film. Among the biggest offenders, Black Widow surviving this, Vision civvies, this, Peter's spider sense not working on Red Wing, Vision's other civvies, and of course Cap evading Spidey's superior strength with some BS acrobatics. Twice! By far the biggest offense has to be this moment where Black Widow uses a shock darts to fend off an advancing BP, allowing Cap and Bucky to make their escape. For those not in the know, BP's costume is made of a vibranium weave. The suit is able to absorb impact as well as energy blasts, like the time T'Challa withstood a blast from a Phoenix-powered Namor. So how exactly did these shock charges stop BP in his tracks? They didn't even work on Crossbones earlier in the movie, for God's sake. Maybe she'd have been better off doing one of her Sonya Blade takedowns. Even that would have been more convincing. Though maybe not.
Backtracking slightly, by the time BP and Buck face off for the final time, we know what to expect. After a heated exchange in which BP could clearly land a death blow, see how close his claws are to Bucky's throat here? See how he overpowers Bucky's metal arm here? Couldn't he just do this on the other side? But instead, Scarlet Witch swats BP aside like some troublesome fly, and in spite of all these fights, Bucky doesn't have a single visible slash mark on him. Incidentally, Cap's shield wasn't so lucky after just one bout with the Panther. For reference, T'Challa has taken down some serious heavy hitters in the comics, including Iron Man, Mephisto, Doctor Doom, and even a freaking polar bear. If it's not abundantly obvious, we reckon BP should be dominating all of these fights, not just holding his own, but that's just our opinion, man.
Obviously, in a film with this many characters and this much action, there have to be compromises. There has to be a balance, and unfortunately, you can't please everyone. Especially not us nerds. And since this ain't BP's movie, the fights inevitably have to favour Cap, and by extension Bucky. Cause he's the super soldier too, right? I mean, it's never fully explained in the movies, but it has been heavily implied. How else would he outrun T'Challa? Or break out of his cell? Or take on Iron Man?
On the plus side, while Steve and Tony are being petulant children, T'Challa gets to be the bigger man. As if fulfilling his father's words from earlier in the movie, BP resists the urge to kill Zemo, or indeed allow Zemo to kill himself. Maybe he empathizes with the dude. They're both from fictional nations after all. Again, none of this is in keeping with the comic book portrayal, but this is an admirable moment for the character to end on. He even goes on to help Bucky, because a great way for Wakanda to join the rest of the world is harboring a wanted criminal.
So there are our thoughts on Black Panther in Civil War, but we're interested to know what you think. Was BP's betrayal fair? Should he have kicked more ass? Are we being too nitpicky? Or do you think the Russos are racist against Wakandans? Be sure to add your vote in the poll up there, and feel free to add any thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching,